Hi guys, I'm Dan the Batman here doing another Doctor Who action figure review. So today we are going to be reviewing the Revelation of the Daleks collector's set. So this set, as you can see in front of you, contains 4 figures, and this set came out in April of 2011, and you can still find this either on eBay or if you go into places like Sci-Fi Collector in London or Forbidden Planet, they may have some there if you're trying to track it down. So, well, before we start, I just want to say this is a really good set, and I was so pleased to get this because Revelation of the Daleks is one of my favourite Dalek stories, especially from the 80s. Not to say the others are not good, they are good, but this one's one of my favourites. Just because it is just a really good story, and probably because it's got Colin Baker in, because he's one of my favourite Doctors. And it's got my favourite villains, which are the Daleks. Well, I think, yeah, I'd say the Daleks are probably one of my favourite villains in Doctor Who for the obvious reasons. So yeah, let's start off by looking at the 6th Doctor, as you can see. So we're just bringing him up here. So let's have a look at the details. So this is the 6th Doctor in his mourning cloak, which he wears in part 1 of Revelation of the Daleks. Now, the costume, what you can see underneath, is the exact same variation of the Doctor, which was released in the Attack of the Cyberman set with the Rogue Cyberman, and the version which was released as a single carded release for the Collect and Build K1 Robot Wave, which came out quite a few years ago now. So we'll first of all look at the cloak. Now, the cloak, as you can see, is very blue. It's actually different shades of blue, as you can see. You've got a baby blue going all around, and you've got this really dark blue here, and you've got the gold question marks, what make the jacket hook together, or the hooks, if you will. And I've only just found that out about a month or so ago. I was watching a review of this set, and this guy pointed out about the question marks. And I thought, oh yeah, I never realised that. And you can now, when I've watched it a few ages ago now, I've only just realised it. Let me know if you only really found out recently that those were question marks. So the cloak can, oh yeah, and you've got this baby blue inside as well. And you've got this dark blue strip going round. So the cloak can easily be removed, unlike the John Pertwee cloak from the 11th Doctor's set, if you guys remember that review. If you haven't, check it out, it's a good review. So the cloak can easily come off, as you can see, and it won't fall down like that. It will just, if you just want to impose without the cloak, or you want it to be hovering or something like that, you could do that, because it's made of a really thin PVC, meaning that it's easy to stand and allows for some flexibility. So here's the 6th Doctor as, well, this was his main costume, what he wore. He did wear a few other variations as well. He wore like different cravats and waistcoats and stuff, but this is his more traditional costume, which he wears for most of his tenure as the Doctor. So as you can see, the colours are very good, and they're very accurate as well. The colour scheme, I believe, is nearly accurate. I think there's a few colours here and there what they couldn't do, which is fair enough, I suppose. So you've got, if we look at the face sculpt, and I think that's a very good variation, or a good head sculpt of Colin Baker. Shows the arrogance of the character, which the Doctor, well, he was quite arrogant in some of his early stories. And, well, yeah, I say in his later ones as well. As you can see, he's got 2 question marks. Oh yeah, the lightness is very good. 2 question marks on his shirt. You've got the blue polka dot cravat. You've got colours you've got yellow coming down here. You've got a pink here, and you've got his cap badge. And you've got, as you can see, you've got his waistcoat, and he's got his yellow trousers, which is very cool. I've always liked those trousers. Because they look cool. And you've got all the legal garb and stuff on his shoes, which is a good thing, 'cause it hides the look of the, well, you know, it hides it and doesn't spoil the illusion this is a figure, not something licensed. So you've got yellow, look, I wouldn't say they're cuffs, but they're a little bit like it, going around, yellow rings. And he doesn't come with a sonic screwdriver or anything, because obviously Colin Baker didn't have the sonic screwdriver then. He did have a sonic lance in Attack of the Cybermen, but he only has it for like one episode, then it gets destroyed. And, just to point out, this review is going to contain, as I've just mentioned, a spoiler. It's going to contain quite a few spoilers, especially to do with this story. So make sure you've seen the story first before you watch all of this review. But if you don't care about spoilers, continue to watch on. Just thought I'd let you know. And so his shoes have been done nicely, as I've mentioned. Or I might have mentioned, I can't remember. You've got the yellow trousers, as I said. All the different colours. You've got the pockets. And this colour scheme, as I remember, if I can remember rightly, I haven't seen the set in ages. I haven't picked up the set and had a look at it in ages. The 11 Doctors set, which had the 6th Doctor as he appears in later on in his tenure. This is all different. The colour scheme's quite different. I think I did compare it. Can't remember now, but let me know if I'm correct or what, or not. Yeah, it's just nice colours, really. I mean, overall, this is a nice variation of the Doctor to have. Well, because I never did get the single carded release. I would like to, and it's still, there's ones floating around here and there on eBay and stuff. I would like to get one, especially because you can build the K1 robot, and I've nearly got the K1 robot pieces. I've nearly got all of the pieces. Just need to track down a few more, and then I've got him, which is good. I may do a review of that one day if I manage to get all the parts. So I'm glad I got this. Well, it's good that you get this variation of the Doctor, because it's different, and obviously because he's wearing the cloak. And so yeah, overall I'd recommend getting this set just to get the 6th Doctor, as well as the other figures in this set. So we just move you aside, Colin, and now let's bring forward the main character, or the main star of the show, which is Davros, as portrayed by Terry Malloy. Okay, so now let's have a little look at the detail. So the face sculpt is absolutely fantastic. It looks so much like Michael Wisher, or not Michael Wisher, Terry Malloy's version of Davros. And it's got that arrogant look which Davros has. And in case some of you guys don't know, Davros created the Daleks. I'm sure most of you would know that by now, but it's alright. So yeah, as I've mentioned, the likeness is very good. It's the same head sculpt as this figure, in fact, is just the exact same as Resurrection of the Daleks, or one that was featured in the Resurrection of the Daleks collector's set. Only there's a few differences, which I will explain in a minute. So yeah, it's very good. You've got all the different wires, and again, very good likeness. I think Terry Malloy is probably one of my favourite Davroses. Let me know in the comment section below what your favourite Davros is. I like Terry Malloy. I think he's very good. Obviously, I like Michael Wisher as well, but something about Terry Malloy I like. The wires are very good, and you've got all the different coloured wires, as I've mentioned. You've got his black suit, which he wears when he's sitting in the chair. Obviously, he doesn't have any articulation here. Oh, by the way, Colin Baker, or the 6th Doctor's articulation is just the standard, really. Just thought I'd let you know. The articulation on Davros is very good, which I'll come to in a minute. He's got his base, his black coloured base. Obviously, it looks like a base of a Dalek, which is probably why he modelled it on his creations. The base is black, unlike the base on the Genesis of the Daleks base, or Genesis of the Daleks Davros's base, which was silver. And the only difference is really, of course you've got the silver bit at the back and the screws and stuff. The only differences really to this figure are that his microphone, as you can see here, is on the opposite side. It originally was there. And this is a one-off. I don't believe he wears this microphone on this side ever again in the programme, or in media or anything like that. Let me know if that's correct or not. So yeah, he wears the microphone on the opposite side, and the controls, as you can see, which again, like all the other Davros figures that I have reviewed, or well, it's just this one and the Genesis Daleks one, but the ones I have reviewed, the control pads have been done very nicely. You've got the little switch which would open so you could get the syringe out, which is actually a feature of Resurrection of the Daleks, but I'll come to that another time if I ever do get the Resurrection of the Dalek set. Yeah, you've got all the buttons which are slightly different, all different colours, and you could, I suppose if you did animations, you could have him move his hands around and stuff, just like in the programme. This bit's also different. The base, or the back base, it's more of a translucent colour or look. So yeah, I think that's it. As I'm looking at this, I'm just looking on a website to the set, and also just because this is, I nearly forgot this, the last thing which is different about this Davros is that he's still got the removable panel, which he has in Resurrection of the Daleks, and really should be for Resurrection of the Daleks. Well, should be exclusive to that set, but seeing as they character options just remake or reuse body sculpts and stuff, it's only really, it's obvious that they just wanted to reuse them to save money, which is fair enough, as long as you give us good quality figures, which you do. So yeah, so the way you operate the control panel, or to take it off, is this sphere here, where my thumb is. You press it down and it pops out, and as you can see, you've got all the circuits and things. So all in all, guys, I mean, this is Davros. I mean, this is the creator of the Daleks, and I do like this version of Davros more so than the newer version of Davros, which was in the Stolen Earth, and the, oh, what was that other one called? Stolen Earth, and what was that one? The Stolen Earth and, let me just
Journey's End.
That was the name. Yeah, I prefer this version of Davros to the one from those two stories. So, yeah, overall, I still think this is a very nice variation of Davros. And if you haven't got any other Davroses, I'd probably recommend checking this one out, because this one is not only a good version of him from a story, but he also comes with one extra accessory, which is a removable hand. Now, as I've mentioned before, spoilers, but basically, in Revelation of the Daleks, there's like this bounty hunter who's hired to kill Davros, and his assistant manages to blow his hand off. Now, as you can see, this hand's all green and wrinkly and horrible, and just like Davros, really. Yeah, and his assistant, or who's called Bostock, he shoots off Davros's hand, and is green goo. And if you look really if you look carefully in the background of after Davros's armor's been off, hand's been shot off, you can see like a single finger on the floor. It's quite funny. But yeah, let me know if you guys have spotted that in the episode or story. So the way you take Davros's hand out is fairly simple. You just make sure you don't break the pegs. You just do it really, really slowly, as I'm doing right now. That's it. As you can see, it just easily comes off. It's got a little black base. And here's his other hand. So if I just fit this on, and as you can see, there's a little hole there. Oh, one thing to note, this paint comes off really easily, so just be careful if you're a collector, because you don't want to make the paint scratch or whatever. So, and here is his new hand, or a stump really, it's not really a hand, but it's nice that they included it, otherwise this would really just be a re-release. So as you can see, this hand has it's a stump, has green colored blood, and there's a stump where obviously little pieces of bandages, which I think the henchman in the Revelation, yeah, that's right, the henchman in Revelation of the Daleks, one of Davros's henchmen, he puts a bandage on him after his hand's been shot. And yeah, and he doesn't have a hand, or another hand, till the Stolen Earth and the Journey's End, and except he has a robotic hand, which is quite cool. So that, again, that's another reason why I'd get it, this version of Davros, because you get the extra hand, which is very nice. So all in all, I really do like this version of Davros, and it's nice to pose with all the other figures in the collection. So now let's have a look at the Necros Dalek. Okay, so here we have the Necros Dalek, and I have to say, I really do like this version of the Dalek. I was never, to be honest with you guys, I was never a big fan of the Necros Daleks as a kid, because I thought they just looked a bit too cartoony. But as I've got older, I kind of like them a bit more. So this Dalek is, well, it's quite different compared to other Daleks, such as that Dalek over there, which I'll come to after I've reviewed this one. Obviously, because of the colour scheme and the eye stalk and everything else. So let's have a little look at the detail of this Dalek. Well, as you can see, you've got these Dalek headlights here, which have been done very nicely. Got a little. Actually, if I zoom in, that's. As you can see, I don't know if this will focus much or this will look good on camera, but at least I've tried. As you can see, you've got little swivels there, which match the on-screen headlights, which we used in this story and beyond. So the eye stalk is very good. You've got, so the headlight's very good. The eye stalk is, as I said, very good. It's not very accurate because in the story, and this is true, if you look in any photo or video footage of Revelation, the Daleks, the eye stalk is more like this eye stalk. And as you can see, the pupil's a lot bigger on this one. Whilst with this one, the eye stalk is just the generic eye stalk, which we used on the Genesis of the Daleks, which is kind of annoying because it should really be like this, but I'm not bothered. So, but it's still nice, Dalek, and the eye is very loose, unfortunately, but yeah, never mind. So you've got the mesh inside here, the gold mesh, which is very cool, and the neck bins are very good. You've got bits of paint everywhere, which is kind of annoying, but it's white. The Dalek's white, and generally, if you buy a Dalek with no paint on and it's white and it's an Imperial Dalek or a white Dalek, you're lucky, because a lot of quality control. Though there's been a lot of things over the years about quality control on Daleks, and I have to agree with them. So I've got quite a few which have problems, and this unfortunately is one of them. But I'll go into detail of that when I look at it. So as you can see, you've got all the mesh, the silver mesh, and the kind of, is that gold? Yeah, that's gold with white. Unfortunately, the paint's sinking into the mesh. But it's cool though, because you've got the gold mesh and then you've got the white slats going around, the traditional slats. And you've got the cylindrical circle in the middle, which is a bit like some of the other Daleks, and especially one what's like a Dalek which I'm going to be reviewing soon, which I'll go to after I've looked at this set. So you've got the plunger, which is all gold, and you've got this little black tip, and then you've got the plunger itself, which is a little bit like the Planet of the Daleks Dalek. Remember that had just the grey, really dark grey plunger stick, and it wasn't like a different colour, it's just the same colour as the Dalek. The gun is just your standard gun based on the 70s and 80s. It's very cool. I mean, I've always been a fan of these old guns because I like this, and also the sound effects. I forgot to mention the sound effects in Revelation Daleks are very good, close to the new series gun sound effects. That's how good the sound effects are in this story. So as I mentioned, gun's good. As we go down, you've got the hemispheres, balls, bumps, whatever you want to call them. I call them hemispheres. So you've got these are all a bronzy. Yeah, I'd say they're a bronze, cross between bronze and gold. They're not as bright as this version, as you can see. They're a little bit different. And you've got the what was I about to say? Oh yeah, you've got the black base, really thin base, and you've got the three wheels underneath, or the legal guard, which you guys are not interested in, nor am I. And before we look at the next figure, I just want to point out, like some of the other Daleks I've reviewed in the past, this Dalek has two bases, meaning that one's the base is two different colours. As you can see, this is a white going all the way around, and the black, and the last one's black. So all in all, guys, that's basically it. I do like this figure. The only thing which I do not like about this figure is the quality control. Now, as you can see, on camera, you can't really see it because it's quite a really light colour. But there's lots of scratches and paint all over here. And the plunger, for some reason, is not moving. And I don't really want to move it again. I mean, it was loose when I bought it. Well, not loose, but I could move it around when I bought it. And I've stuck it in this pose, and it doesn't seem to want to move. So I might move it around now and again. But if there's anyone out there who has bought this set and has had this problem, if you just press very, very gently on the ball joint and move it, it may move. But I don't want to move it or force it just in case I break it. And some of the gold paint, or not gold, the white paint has synced here. But to be honest, I kind of think that stuff like that makes it a little bit more accurate, because as I've mentioned in a few other reviews, the Daleks were always beaten up, like the paint was everywhere, especially on some of the Daleks from the 80s, the Daleks and the 70s really. I mean, the Daleks were always got paint or scratched or what have you, so in some ways it's kind of good, some ways it's kind of bad, makes it more realistic. So now let's have a little look at the last figure in the set, which is the Skaro Dalek. Exterminate. And so the final figure in the set is, as I mentioned, the Skaro Dalek. Now, obviously, hint the name, this Dalek is loyal to the Dalek Supreme, unlike Davros's Daleks, which are the Necros ones. And basically, in the story, the Daleks, or a group of Daleks of this faction, called the Rebel faction, I think. Yes, the Rebel. No. Yeah, I think it's the Rebel Daleks. Let me know if I'm right or wrong. I know the other faction are called the Imperial ones. No, sorry, Renegade. That's right, Renegade. Just come to me at the top of my head. This is a Renegade Dalek, meaning that they are loyal to the Dalek Supreme, and the Necros Daleks and the Imperial Daleks are Imperial, meaning that they're loyal to Davros. And if you see Remembrance of the Daleks, that you see a massive fight between the two fractions, which is very cool, and that's a story that you do not want to miss watching, because that is a very good story. So this version of the Dalek, or this Dalek, I think is the only appearance. I think it does make an appearance in Resurrection. Yeah, Resurrection. I am right. Resurrection of the Daleks, except it's a sort of a more lighter colour scheme. And if I just bring this version, this is a Dalek which is going to be in my next review. As you can see, the colour scheme's a lot lighter. This colour scheme here is a lot lighter than this one. This is more of a matte, more of a darker matte colour, if that makes sense. Darker colour scheme, which is kind of cool. I kind of like it. Puts me in mind of the 70s Daleks. So now let's have a little look at the detail. Well, the headlights are the same, really, just a different colour and different type of ring going around. It's now just all connected to one piece. And you've got the eye stalk, which, as you can see, my eye stalk is a little bit funny. There's been a bit too much paint added on the left-hand side, which means like it's got a bit of a googly eye. It's sort of looking that way instead of straight ahead, which I'm a little bit annoyed at, but from a far distance you can't really notice it. And so yeah, that's the eye stalk. Unfortunately, as you can see, the eye stalk's a little bit loose and it easily pops out like that. It's not broken, I know that, because the Dalek eye stalks used to be removable like this. A little bit too removable in my opinion. And oh yeah, forgot to mention, the eye, or the discs on the Dalek eye stalk are, let me just check these, they are the same on both of these Daleks. That's because the eye stalks did change in the 80s compared to the 70s. So let's have a little look at the neck bin, or the mesh inside the neck bin. So that's been done very nicely. You've got all the different screws and stuff inside. The neck bins are not wonky at all. They're the way they should be. So you've got the cylindrical disc, which is, or oval disc, which is on the Necros one as well, which has now been painted black. You've got the mesh going around, the silver mesh, and you've got the black slats going around with all the different screws and stuff, which is cool. You've got the matte black gun, which is nice. You've got the plunger, which is black, and yeah, I'd say a little bit lighter black colour scheme to it. You've got the black plunger, which is black, just as it always has been in Doctor Who's history. You've got the black hemispheres bumps, hemispheres I call them. Black hemispheres, they're very cool. No paint bleeds or anything, which is very nice. You've got the black base. Like with the Necros one, this is split into two, except the two pieces are the same colour. And of course, it's on 3 wheels. So that's basically the Skaro Dalek. It's still a nice version. I mean, if you wanted to army build them, I would recommend this version, because this version is a nice one to army build with. Same for this one. I do want to army build this one at some point. I don't know when, but I would like to army build it. Same with this one as well. So you've got... So this is, again, a nice version. Excuse the bleeping in the background. Dinner's ready. This variation of the Dalek is nice. I do, as I've mentioned before, I do like this colour scheme. Sort of makes them a bit more menacing, a bit more like soldiers, which obviously they are, because they're led by the Supreme Dalek, who doesn't, in case some of you guys are wondering, if you don't care about spoilers, the Supreme Dalek doesn't feature in Revelation, the Daleks. He does, however, or he, she, I don't know what it is. It does make an appearance in the next story, which is Remembrance of the Daleks, but you only see the revelation of the Daleks. Well, you only see these Daleks, not their leader in Revelation of the Daleks. So, yeah, that's it really, guys, for this review. Overall, really, if I just bring the figures around, let's bring back, let's bring a little bit forward. So, all in all, guys, I would highly recommend you picking this setup. I think this is... Oh, just move the camera up a little bit. Just move it back. That's it. So, all in all, guys, I would highly recommend you picking this set up if you still can. Let me know if you guys have got this set. Let me know what you think of it, as well as if you are thinking of getting it. I think, really, for £30, I know £30 is a lot of money. I do agree. I kind of wish it was 20 at the least, not 30. But you get 2 good Daleks, 2 which can be used for army building. You can reenact scenes when they shoot each other, like in the story. The Colin Baker, or the not Tom Baker, the 6th Doctor variant is very good. I do like that cloak. It's very cool, especially like the gold paint going all across here, like these triangular bits. And yeah, I really do like the 6th Doctor, and I do like it that you get an exclusive cloak variation with this set. Otherwise, it would just be a re-release. But obviously, because this story is notable because he wears that cloak. And Davros is a very good variation. I think for collectors, this is probably a good collecting item, a good collector item, because you get the 2 hands and you get different looks to him, like the fact that his microphone's on the other side, which is famous for being only in this story. Let me know if I'm wrong, though, in the comment section below. And I've just moved the camera up. So I would recommend you picking this up, as well as seeing Revelation the Daleks. It's a very good set. You can find it cheap on Amazon or Play.com or wherever, especially HMV. And yeah, I bought Revelation the Daleks about 3 or 5 years ago, and I'd never watched it before. And my friend of mine, he likes Doctor Who, and he said, "Oh yeah, you got to see that story. It's a good story." And I don't know if I've mentioned this, but it's quite a dark story, so be warned if you're young and you're under the age of 8 or something, because it is quite horrible in some bits. But that's proper Doctor Who horror. But yeah, it's a good story. Try and get the DVD as well as this set if you can. All in all, I'm going to give this... Do you know what? I'm going to be nice. I'm going to give this set a 10. And some of you think it's a bit too much. Well, I actually think this set is worth picking up because you get a good variation of Colin Baker as the Doctor. You get a good Davros. You get 2 brilliant Daleks. Well, Colin's just fallen. I think he's a bit tired of me talking. You get 2 good Daleks. You get a good Davros. You get a good Doctor, and I just think it's worth. I think it's worth me giving it a 10 because. If you just want to get one Davros, I would recommend this one. This is a good one, as well as the other Davroses that are out there. And if you never got Colin or not Tom Baker, the 6th Doctor as a single carded release, or in the 11th Doctor set, or even the Attack of the Cyberman set, you might as well just get this one because you get the cloak as well as the actual figure what was released in those other sets. So thanks for watching, guys. Feel free to like and subscribe to my channel, even leave a comment as I've mentioned. And my next review is going to be the Resurrection of the Daleks set. Well, it's called the 5th Doctor and Dalek from Resurrection of the Daleks set. And that should be out in about a day or so. And after that, I'm going to be taking a little bit of a break because I'm going to be quite busy these next couple of months. And there's going to be a review of the Batman Legacy DVD set coming soon. I think that'll probably be out in like September time, and then after that I probably will be taking a small break. So yeah, as I've mentioned, thanks for watching, guys, and feel free to leave a comment, like the video, subscribe, your choice. Let me know what you guys thought of this review. Did you like it or did you not like it? I don't mind your opinions on my videos at all. It's all open to my fans. So, again, thanks for watching, guys. I'd recommend you pick this set up as well as watching the story. And my next video will be the 5th Doctor with Resurrection of the Daleks. Dun 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 dun. No, wrong song. See you later.